Hello, hi, welcome. I'm Julia. What we have today is a mobility yoga mashup recovery routine. So that's a whole big mouthful, but really all that means is that we're going to give extra love to our hips and our shoulders, both through some active mobilizations and some more static stretches. So we're going to be seeing aspects of yoga, but also some really nice dynamic mobility work. If your body is feeling taxed, from some of the recent activities that you've been enjoying. Myself, I've done quite a bit of weightlifting and high intensity exercise this week. So my hips and shoulders are really feeling in need of this TLC, and perhaps yours are too. So this will be a really nice antidote to whatever ails you in terms of hip and shoulder relief. What you'll want is a yoga block and a yoga belt. Now, you could live without the block. What we're using that for is a little bit of elevation off the ground. So something you can squat on, something you can sit on. A stack of blankets or a couple firm pillows will serve just as well as the block in today's practice. For the belt, if you don't have a yoga belt, you could just grab a towel. Other than that, you just need a little bit of time and a little bit of space. And I invite you, please, to come up to standing, join me for this practice, and we will get started together in just a moment. Okay, getting started with some big arm circles. So let's just take the arms in one direction. I'm going to start going backwards. Of course, it's perfectly valid to start by going forwards, but we're going to start today by going backwards. So just getting a really nice rotation at the shoulder joint. Squeeze your glutes and your abs. Try to drop your front ribs so there's some containment of the lumbar mobility, and we're focusing really on just circumduction at the shoulder joint. We're going to see this again a little bit later using that belt. Good, let's reverse now, circling the opposite direction of where you began. So for me, I'm now circling forward. Nice big motion. So we're just starting pretty simply here with a shoulder series. Then we'll be going into our hip series. And we'll conclude by stretching out a little bit more static holds and a few yoga poses to conclude our mobility session today. Good, let's go the opposite direction again, so circling backwards, and this time pick up the pace a bit. So start to go a little bit more quickly, although still very mindful that we're focusing on the shoulder rotational aspect. So we're attempting to stabilize the rest of the body, which is to say, minimize any accessory motion and focus down on the shoulder. Good, reverse, other way. Same, we're looking to pick up the pace a little bit. It's a great time to check in with your breathing. We're going to start to build some really nice heat in those shoulder joints here. The arms might get a little fatigued, but it's all good. It's all just increasing circulation and mobility. One more time, original direction. We'll do a bit less here. And then reverse one more time. So hopefully the shoulder is starting to feel a bit awakened already. Okay, from here, reach your arms forward, pull back, keep going, keep pulling and squeezing between your shoulder blades. This is 5, 6, 7, let's go 8, 9, one more. Now reach up above you and pull down. So reach and pull your elbows towards your side waist for 4, 5, 6, really big tall reach, 7, 8, 9,
Last one, 10, reach to the front, and now pull back, 8, 7, 6, squeeze between your shoulder blades, activate your upper back, 3, 2, reach up overhead, pull, 8, 7, 6, really pull. Put some mind into the motion, 3, 2, reach forward so you move with purpose, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, let's reach up, pull down, 6, so we're doing even numbers, 5, 4, stronger, 3, 2, now to the front for 4, pull back, 3, 2, 1, reach up, 4, 3, really pull, 2, and 1 to the front for 2, and pull down for 2. Pull again, 2, let's stay with 2, and down for 2. Reach and pull, reach and pull. How are those shoulders doing? Are we starting to feel some things? Good, go again, 2, and 2. We got 3 more of the 2s and 2s. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2 and 2 right here. 1 more of 2s, then we're into single counts. So we're going to reach forward, pull for 1, reach up and pull down. Forward and down. Forward and down. Keep going from the front and from above. Not too many more. Then we take a little bit of a break with our next move. Our next move will really counter all this effort. So your shoulders should be a bit on fire. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, we got just 3 of each, 2, 1 more. Good, drop the arms and then crisscross right in front of your chest. Cross a different arm on top each time, so you alternate. Good. A few more, opening the chest as the arms swing wide, contracting across the front of the chest as the arms adduct. That means they cross the midline each time. Good, nice and big, keep going. Let's do just a few more like this. So this is your straight arm cross swing. You can stay with this, or if you're digging it, you can do a swinging eagle arm. So I swing into bent arm, swing out straight, swing bent, swing straight, and I'm just binding and unbinding the eagle wrap of my arms each time. So again, this is totally optional. If you dig it, you can do it. If you don't dig it, stay with the straight arm crisscross. That's fabulous. Keep breathing the whole time. Good, we don't count this one. So just continue, we go for time. Do about 20 more seconds here. Again, this is just a whole bunch of shoulder moves, active shoulder mobility here to get us going. Then we're going to take it into the hips. One more time each. Good, take your fingers to your shoulders and now circle your elbows. Nice big rotation here. Opening up your chest as the elbows go back behind you. Opening up your upper back as your elbows come forward in front of you. And see if maybe the elbows can actually touch at the center. A little bit bigger if you can. Really go for a nice extended, expanded side body armpit area as the elbows rise up each time. Good, all the same but reverse, taking circles in the other direction. And here's where you really sense that you can peel off some front shoulder, some upper chest congestion, right? Especially if you've been working out a bunch this week, or if you've been working out with me and some of my other videos. We do a ton of push-ups. So it's really nice here today to do a little extra TLC for those pectoral muscles, your chest muscles. Good, just a few more like this. Good, we have 2 more moves up standing. Let your arms sway by your side as you rotate. So this is simple dynamic twisting. And for right now, we're looking for the arms to sway pretty low. Just let them go with the inertia of your momentum. And what you'll feel is that you're tapping like opposite hip each time. And you don't have to tap hard, obviously. No need to bruise yourself in the interest of a recovery practice. But you can give a gentle little tap. And notice it's the back of your hand tapping. And that's because we're working with internal shoulder rotation. So now as we work a little bit more deliberately from the shoulder, pay attention to the arm that's behind your back as you swing and sway. And try to tap a little bit higher. Try to reach a little bit more up your back. And these taps can be quite light. You might not even touch your body, but you're thinking about reaching the hand that's behind you up your back a little bit higher. Good, just do a few of those, few more of those. Okay, keep the twist going. Bring your arms up into a cactus shape, sometimes also called the goalpost shape. And keeping lots of width between your elbows as you rotate. Especially pay attention now to the arm that's going back behind you and pressing it back even further. So really keep it nice and wide, all the way from your sternum bone, the center of your chest, through the line of the inner arm, the inner upper arm, and out through the inner elbow. So again, targeting front chest muscle there, but also a bit through your biceps now, as well as your front shoulders. Good, and then one last one. Interlace your fingers with your palms face down, and just let the arms sway side to side, almost like you're swinging a bat or a racket or a hammer. So your arms have some density to them. And now it's a little bit more about your core muscles putting on the brakes so that you don't overswing yourself. Don't overswing yourself, right? Just swing. But you want to contract at the end of each twist in your core abdominals to help reset you and slingshot you back to the next side. So although it's dynamic, there's still a lot of core control over that dynamicism. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and nice and easy, unravel that back to center. We have one more. Standing. So reach your arms up, palms face forward, and then as you pull down, imagine you're grabbing a bar and you're trying to do a chin up. So you're trying to get your chest over the bar, right? And then you can let the arms reach back up overhead. And let's do just that little piece for 4 more. So you pull, squeeze, lift your chest. You can arch your back a little bit, especially your upper back. Reach and pull again. Reach and pull again. So you're just sort of activating your upper and middle back. Okay, now a little less exaggerated, and let's add something into cactus. So pull down, same activation of your upper middle back, but then close your cactus shape to the front, squeeze, and then open to the back, again, squeeze, and reach up overhead. And let's make it a little quicker. Pull, close, open, reach. pull, close, open, reach, and keep going. So this is your cactus pull pattern right here. And this is just going to finish up the standing upper body mobilizations. Hopefully already shoulders, chest, and back are feeling a little more awake, a little more alive, and certainly a little bit more mobile. Let's go for 30 seconds. Nice big reaches, nice big squeezes. So again, you put some real intention into the muscles that you are addressing here and into the joints that you are intentionally mobilizing and working with. That way it's not just about moving, although moving is fabulous, but you're moving with purpose. You're moving on purpose. 3, 2, let's do one more. And relax, release, give it all a little shake out. So moving now into the hips, let's start fairly slowly. So we're going to do a karate chop of the hips back. And that's your hinge, like flat back position. Let your fingers come to the ground, let your head hang. In yoga, we know this one often as the ragdoll pose, or more formally as Uttanasana, which is from the Sanskrit. Just a standing forward fold, essentially. Okay, pause one more moment. Breathe. Let's come into a squat now. So as the knees go a little bit wider, you can offset by reaching your arms forward. Here, I do welcome you, if you're using one today, and if it serves your body well, I welcome you to use your block as a landing pad for this next series. Okay, so please know that is an option available to you. So we're just pausing. Truly, you can have your arms in any position that you prefer. Okay, now from here, go back into your hinge for a moment. Take another breath. Good, back down into your squat. And take another breath. One more like that, hinge. Again, just starting to mobilize through the hips into flexion and extension. And then squat. From your squat, ground down through your feet and stand up. Use your leg strength to stand to the top. Take a moment of pause in standing. Let's put that together. Yeah. Take a breath in. And then as you send your hips back and you preset your hips like a karate chop at the front of the pelvis there. Hinge. Keep your spine as extended as possible so that the pelvis is tilted forward. And then come into your squat. Any arms you like with these squats. Please choose what feels natural for your body today. Nice, and then we're gonna go right ahead and stand up. Pause, reset your feet if you need to, if you feel that they somehow got away from you. And let's go again. Hinge, hips go back. Pause. Come down into squat. Any arms you like. Pause. And then let's add one thing. We'll be doing overhead reach at the top. So reach your arms forward in front of you and use the pressure of your hands reaching and your arms pressing into that reach to help you rise. And as you stand, take your arms up overhead. And just get a nice front body stretch. You might even lighten the weight in your heels. Let the heels lift a little or a lot. A moment there, really just to stretch with abandon. Good, and then release your arms and stand. Same pace, 2 more like this. Hinge, forward fold, pause. Good, see if you can drop the head a little bit more. Slight chin to chest tuck. You don't have to overdo, but lengthen the back of your neck. Good, come down, squat. Any arms you like here. Reach forward and let that forward intent, like you're really reaching for something that's just beyond your fingertips. Let that scoop you all the way forward and then up and reach your arms overhead. Pause, lengthen, extend and expand, and release to stand. So one more at this pace, and then we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Hinge and fold. Couple moments. Now squat and pause. And just linger here. Reach forward, so it's the effort in the arms, like the aspiration of getting longer and touching that object that's just beyond, combined with the strength and thrust from your legs that brings you all the way up. So reach through the arms, press through your feet, and stand. And then enjoy a moment up there. You can do anything you like with your hands. Right? Just open up your body. Okay, a little bit quicker. Hinge. And then squat. Reach and stand, arms overhead. Let's do that pace again. Hinge. And squat. And stand. Few more. Hinge and squat and stand. Keep going. So continue at this pace, taking out the long pauses. We're still not rushing it, but we're moving continuously from one position to the next. Same, you can do anything you like with your hands. Let's just keep it moving a few more moments here. Again, instead of counting repetitions, simply go for about 1 more minute. And you might actually start to feel some heat or fatigue in your legs. That's totally normal. That is the increase in blood flow and circulation there that we're after. So that's a good thing. And it's going to allow for an improvement in your mobility if you can get the heat into those tissues. Good, we have just about 30 more seconds at this pace. You might also feel your heart rate come up a bit. These are large muscle groups, so they require oxygen, and that means there's a bit of a cardio effect. Okay, we're almost there. We're going to be moving into some lunges in a moment. Good, 1 more time. We'll finish up standing. And just let your arms come by your side. Take a moment to stand, close your eyes, become still. And feel into your body. Notice here mid-session if there's any quality of transformation that you might note. If you can sense already that there's been some shift or some change in how your internal landscape is operating today. Eyes open, palms open. And from yoga, let's do 5 quarter sun salutes. So exhale, discover your breath. Inhale, arms circle, rise, look up. Exhale, hinge and dive, forward fold. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen your front body, pubic bone to sternum. Exhale, keep the length, hinge, fold. Rising again, inhale, circling, look up at the top. Breathe out, arms by your side into mountain pose. That was 1. Inhale, circle, rise. Exhale, hinge, and fold. Inhale, lengthen, extend the front of your spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Rising, inhale, circle and reach. Get an inch taller. Exhale, that was 2. We'll go again. Inhale. Dive. Exhale. Lengthen here. Inhale. Fold fully. Exhale. Rise on your in-breath, just riding the tide of breathing. Exhale for 3, and again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Rise, inhale. Exhale, one more time like this, inhale. Hinge, exhale. Lengthen. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. And mountain. Again, moment to pause and observe. We'll move into some work specific to the hip joints, or I should say, some more work that is specific to the hip joints. So opening your eyes, building on what we've already done, working with some flexion and extension. Here, let's do a hip hinge. So take the hips back, extend your spine, and fold. And then take your hands down and step onto your knees in all fours, so a quadruped position. And just getting a sense of your quadruped here. Take a moment to set your hands under your shoulders. We're not going to spend much time in this position today. Knees underneath your hips. But let's do a few rounds of cats and cows, just because that is just such good daily body maintenance. So as you breathe out, curl and round the shape of your spine into a dome. And then as you breathe in, pelvis tilts, belly dips, shoulder blades together. Exhale, cat. And then as you insert your spine into your body, inhale for cow. Do a few more, just working with your own internalized understanding of this undulation. So close your eyes and do your personal favorite approach to cats and cows, whatever that may be. Just feeling that wave of motion up and down the front of your spine, the back of your spine. Good, about 3 more. And as you finish with one last one, eyes can open if they've been closed. And we're going to come into a tall kneel position. So it's as if standing, but standing on your shins or standing on your knees. Take your left leg forward to start. And this doesn't, again, have to be, if you are a yoga person, it doesn't have to be the standard low lunge alignments necessarily. So whatever a natural step forward for you is, unless it's super short, just let it be, okay? So step forward without too much formality and come into a lunge position with your back glute. So in this case, my left foot forward, my right leg is behind me. So I'm going to squeeze and clench my right glute like I'm trying to make a fist out of that butt cheek. Keep that. That's actually really important as we aim to open up the front of the right hip here. So we want to do that hip flexor, front of hip expansion with a really strong glute squeeze. Okay, so engage and keep engaging. And then we're going to think that this front foot, left foot, is at 12 o'clock, which is like straight dead ahead. And then do a few forward and back hinge motions. Now, as I hinge, I'm still clenching and squeezing my right butt cheek. Yeah, but what I'm letting happen, what I'm allowing for, is my shin to shift forward in space so that I'm getting some hinge from my ankle as well as my knee. And you just pulse with this a few more times. As long as there's no discomfort in your knee joint, you can go as far as the buttock contraction will allow you. If you totally release your back bum contraction, you could probably go further, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so one more. And then as you press yourself back, again, clench your right bum and step onto your left knee. If you don't engage around the back hip joint, it can be really wobbly. Okay, so we're looking to do some nice muscle activation as well as joint mobilization, putting those two together. So let's swing step right foot forward, again, straight forward as you would in almost any lunge. Squeeze your left bum, keep squeezing it, and then vacillate a little bit, hinging in and out of knee and ankle motion, or knee and ankle ranges of motion. Again, we're looking here to work with flexion and extension of these hinge joints. Good, just a couple more. So I am looking to get some mobility in my front ankle as well as my back hip. There's a few other things happening, but that's mainly what we're after with this drill. Last one. Again, as you press back and engage around your back hip joint, step out. Now, instead of stepping the left foot straight forward, take it on the diagonal. So if this was 12, I'm going to go towards 11 or maybe even 10. We are going to go to 9 in a moment, so save that. But go 10, 11, so you're on a diagonal. And then same thing, clench your right butt cheek and bend and extend your front knee. So we're putting things on, it's a different angle, yeah? Putting it on a different angle and just seeing what that means to our hips today. What might that mean? I don't know. That's what, mobility practice, yoga practice, mindful somatic movement. It's all a big experiment, and you're really just exploring inside your own vessel here. See what's up with those hips today. All right, again, step back, high kneel, second side. So right foot and the whole unit, right? The right foot, the knee, the thigh, at the hip, everything is turned out on a diagonal. My back leg is standard. My back leg doesn't change. And then I'm engaging my left glute, and I bend and extend my front leg. Right? You just find a rhythm that suits you, but we are exploring with some dynamic movement. We're not trying to hold a stretch. That's not what this drill is about, right? This is an active mobilization. And we're seeing how maybe it feels a bit different from side one. We're seeing how it feels inside these two hip joints, tracking the knee right over the toes on that diagonal angle. Good, and step back. We're back to the first side, which is the left. This time you are going to point out as close as you can approximate to 9 o'clock. So that's a really big abduction in the hip joint. But I do want my knees still to track over my toes. Okay, and then same thing, engage your right butt and go side to side. So I'm not doing anything differently in my ankle or my knee, but the hip has really changed here. So I'm still working that hinge at the ankle and the knee, but I'm doing it with really deep engagement of the outer left hip. So you're working both butts. Both butt cheeks are really working here. They're doing different things, but they're both deeply engaged. Good, and then come back, high kneel. Let's try that other side. So right foot is 3 o'clock now. And I just go into my hinges. Still engaging the left butt. And here now, as I engage the right butt, it's more for rotation. It's more to keep the knee tracking over the foot in this turned out position. So my left cheek is working more for the action of extension, helping to open the front of that hip. And my right cheek is working more for rotation, for the external rotation that's aiming the knee and the foot to 3 o'clock. Good, back to high kneel. One more round of everything, but a little quicker. So left side steps straight forward, 12 o'clock, bend and extend. Bend and extend. Just about 3 more. Again, any depth, any speed, it's a personal exploration. I'm just hopefully giving you enough instruction. Let's step back and change sides. Hopefully giving you enough instruction that you have a starting point, you have like a point of entry for your curiosity today. But then really you can just let your own intuitive experience unfold and follow it, like follow that rabbit down the hole and just see where your own experience takes you. Step back. Left side diagonal, so 10 or 11. Step out and pulse. You can see we're moving a little more quickly through it now. Step back, high kneel, other side. So right side, high diagonal, which is going to be like 1 or 2 o'clock here. Same, let's continue to engage the back glute throughout. That way we don't stress or strain ligaments at the front of the hip, but we actually open the front of the joint with a good amount of joint stability. Good, come back. Left foot straight to the side, so like 9 o'clock. And remember, we do want some good contraction inside the hip so that we continue to press the knee wide from inside that hip joint. And then we just sway it out. Good, step back. And right side, like 3 o'clock. And how far away your foot is from the midline of your body is totally up to you. Step out as much or as little as you like. And that has a lot to do with the condition of your ankle joint as well as other things. But that's a big limiting factor here, is how much your ankle is willing to move. Good, come back center. We're not completely done with that, believe it or not, but let's come to hands and knees. Curl your toes and take a downward facing dog. We're gonna do one more grand finale there, but before we do, let's just lengthen out. So pressing hands forward and down, strong reach of the arms. And maybe drop just a little more heaviness into your heels. At the same time, aspiring to greater length on the back lines of your legs. So as if you were wearing very kind of old-fashioned, sexy stockings that have the seam up the back. You want to drop your heels down so that you pull on that seam from below, and then you want to tip your pelvis forward, take your sitting bones high. Those are your buttocks bones, the tips of your pelvis. And that's going to move your pubic bone back in space and your inner thighs a bit back in space. And so then you're pulling on the line of the stocking upward as well. So you pull, you push down with your heels, you pull up with your hips, and you're pulling length in both directions simultaneously. Sweet, okay, lower down. Step your left foot forward. 12 o'clock. Step back. This moves quickly. And then right side forward. So let's alternate sides. Left side diagonal. Step back. Right side diagonal. Step back. Left side 9 o'clock. Right side 3 o'clock. Left side 12, go again. And back, right side 12. And back, left side diagonal. Right side diagonal. Left side 9 o'clock. Right side 3 o'clock. Okay, you got one more round. Left side to 12. Right side to 12. Left side diagonal. Right side diagonal. Left side, 9 o'clock. Right side, 3 o'clock. And back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe there. From downward facing dog, you can widen your hands about a ½ inch to each side. So a little wider than shoulder width or outer shoulder width might make sense. And then lift your heels and come forward towards plank. Into your plank, dip your hips, arms are still straight, and lift your chest. course, if it's too much pressure in your low back, you're gonna find an alternative. So please don't feel that in your low back. You could always stay a little higher. You could always put your knees down. You could always take more like a cobra pose. This is like a hovering upward facing dog here. If it doesn't work for your low back, please do make your own change there. And then as you press the floor away, pull the navel in up, pass through your plank, and go down dog. Good, just a few more. Forward, let the hips dip. Back to down dog. Forward again, hips dip. Back to down dog. Just two more, forward and dip. Down dog. Forward and dip. And down dog. Let's stay in down dog for a moment. Just a little bit more from kneeling. Lower your knees down, come to high kneel. Step your left foot forward 12 o'clock, and this time we're gonna lean enough into it that we can load that leg and get light on the back leg. So lean forward. If your knee, like we were doing earlier to mobilize, if your knee is going way beyond your toes, that actually will not serve you here. So imagine a wall at your big toe and your knee cannot go past that wall, okay? So instead of letting the shin shift that far forward, hold back a little bit with the travel of your knee joint, and then curl your back toes under, lift your back leg up, and then for just a moment, lean, launch, stand, knee up, and we balance. So it's not a big deal. You don't have to hold the knee or anything like that. Mostly what we're after is what's happening in the standing leg. So let's again lean forward just a bit, step back, lower the back knee down, and you arrive again in your lunge, and then high kneel. Let's try side two. Right foot forward. Yes, you do have to shift your weight, but don't let the knee go too far forward because it won't help you. And then stand and back knee up. Or I should say the back leg comes forward, knee up towards your chest. Step back, knee down, high kneel, little faster. And we're going left side to high kneel, and then right side. So you're just stepping through and stepping up, and then you come right back to high kneel. And we're just going to do a few more side to side. It's such a nice way, again, to activate hip stabilizers, to motivate the gluteal muscles to work for you. And believe it or not, a lot of the tension that we feel around our hips often is coming from some weakness or inactivity in the gluteal muscles. They are simply not, well, either they're not doing what they're meant to do, or they are not doing it appropriately. Like the timing is off. The electrical signals are not clear. So it doesn't even mean necessarily that you have weak glutes. They might have strength. There might be like a lot of muscle there, but it doesn't know what to do with itself. Or you might simply need to build strength. That's possible too. Okay, so just a few more of these. In the effort to relieve tight, angry hips, we are working on awakening the glutes. Also a great balance drill. If you struggle with balance, again, that can have a lot to do with imbalance or weakness or some lack of communication through your hips. We think balance is, oh gee, it's, you know, my fallen arches, my weak ankles, and maybe, yes, but a lot of balance occurs higher up in the body. It's not all about the foot. Good, so you're still going side to side, I hope. And you may be getting, again, a cardio effect off of this one. Awesome job. Last time, each side. So just one more for me here. We want to end with the right foot as the standing leg. And then take a moment and just sit back and breathe. Okay, so from here, we've done a lot of really nice activation. We're going to move into a little bit more release work. So some more static holds, some yoga postures, things that really do feel and look a bit more like yoga. We're going to lunge again. Let's take the left foot forward. Right knee is down. And then just walk onto your left thigh and pause. Breathe. For right now, any angle of that front leg, any angle of that back leg, whatever feels natural in your low lunge, just a couple moments. We could, of course, go way deep into detail, but that's not the purpose of this particular movement practice. Okay, from here, quad stretch. So come out of the bend of your front leg a bit. That's just going to help give you space. And then working first with twist, with rotation, you can take your right hand to the ground, or you could use your block there, okay, if you're using the block today. Curl your back toes under and press back with your back knee. So let your back knee travel backwards an inch or two, so that when you bend and catch the foot, you're not right on top of your kneecap, of your patella. Catching front of ankle, top of foot. If that connection is just not a reasonable ask for any reason, especially if it's like a shoulder or low back issue, then please use your belt, right? So you can make the belt into a circle, into a loop, and you could just lasso your foot. So this is quad stretch number 1. We are going to be doing quad stretch number 2 today, which again, if you've been working out with me, or if you've been doing your own workouts, and there's been a lot of squatting and lunging, which there has been for me, then you might really be feeling those quads. But again, that's why we do it in our recovery sessions, right? We target the muscles that we've been utilizing so that they can get a refresh here. Just another moment. And just do make note that it's opposite hand to foot. So it's my left hand holding my right foot. Let that release. Fold to the inside of your front leg, taking your left foot and leg a little wider. Fold to your block if you prefer, of course. Or you can fold to the ground if that's available to you. We're not going to hold super long, and we will do this twice. This is just your first pass at lizard for today. Okay, let's come back up. This time, so option 1 is to repeat that first quad stretch. If that felt like enough intensity, I'm going to suggest stay with that, because this one is even more. Okay, so you can repeat that. But if you're good for it, I'm going to do same hand. So my left hand and my left foot are going to pretty much stay exactly where they are. So another way to say that, the left side of my body is consolidated, so I'm not changing anything there. And then I'm going to go to my right as I bend into my knee and catch my foot again, this time same hand. So option to climb up onto your left thigh, and you could have your hand or your elbow there. If being low is just impossible. But what we are trying for here is same hand to foot, and the lower you are with your left arm and hand, the more intense the stretch. Good, release. And as you work your left foot back center, let's curl the back toes under. Straighten both legs just for a moment. Not super formal yoga pose here. Just looking for knee extension. We're going to do that lizard fold one more time on this same side. So rebend your knees, come down into a lunge, move your left foot to the left. Fold to the inside. Block or no block, your choice. And just breathe through it. We're not going to stay too terribly long, just long enough to feel for that passive release. And then we're going to be taking this same series on side 2. So as you rise onto your hands, come back to your table, hands and knees, and let's go to downward facing dog. And take a few moments really going for the length of your limbs in down dog. Good, and then we'll come to side 2. So right side forward in low lunge. Walk up onto your thigh and pause. Couple breaths. Just it's a good daily pose. And I say that not being very good about practicing it daily myself. I say it to remind myself as much as to encourage you to do it on the regular. There's plenty of things I do daily for body maintenance, but lunges don't always make it into the mix, and yet they're really, really good to work on that front line, that front body line, which gets so coiled up and so congested with most of our sedentary daily activities. From here, we're going to fold to the inside. So taking left hand down to stabilize you, and then this is opposites. Walk your back knee back so you're not right on the kneecap, and catch your foot or ankle. So there's a little bit of a twist in this one, in this first one. And that's what actually makes it more accessible. It's a little less direct and like confrontational on the quadriceps if we put some rotation into it. You can pull your heel as close to your glute as you like. Again, I'm filming this one on a day where I've had a week of lots of lunges and lots of squats, some weight work, some running. I mean, it's been a lot, so my quads are not feeling very pliable, which is why it's really good to do today. But it also means my heel is probably not going to touch my butt as it would on other days. So again, it's always, let's release that and pull both arms to the inside. It's always up to you, you know, how you work with your body on any given day, but the most important principle is to be sensitive. And by that I don't mean kind, although I suggest that you be kind. That is a good thing. But by sensitive, I mean you're paying attention. You're paying attention. So you're listening in to what your body is communicating to you through its sensations. And I can just tell today, like my legs are beat, and they're telling me that. And so I'm working from that place. I'm working with that information, not against that information. Okay, so now you could repeat the same quad stretch we just did, or if you're good for it, same side. Now, the right arm staying inside the right leg, the hand inside the foot. that is going to be more challenging. So if you have the balance for it, it would give you a little more space if you rose up with right hand on knee, okay? But it's totally up to you. We're just, again, trying to draw heel to glute here. We don't stay too long, just long enough. Okay, let's let that release. We're going to straighten both legs before we come back for our final lizard. So a rather informal pyramid stretch here. Just, straighten out through both knee joints. Okay, and then as you rebend your front knee, still foot leg wide, back knee down, fold to the inside. And here you get to just enjoy a few moments of breath, folding into this stretch. So we'll come back up, step back into table, reset yourself, and come to downward facing dog. We're doing a few seated poses, and we're circling back to shoulders. We'll look at some shoulder work, and we'll combine that with a little bit more for the hips, but we are in our final stages here today. So from where you are, take one more breath in down dog, and then we're going to be bringing the insides of our feet together and coming into a toe sit. So insides of feet come to touch, heels lift, and with your toes tucked under, you lower your knees and you walk your hands up into toe sit. From your toe sit, you'll need your belt. So if you need to come out for a moment, obviously, please do that. And then retrieve your belt, or you might be, again, using a substitute, like a towel is totally great, totally fine, works well. So if you have your belt, go ahead, open it up. You can work simply with the belt open end to end. That's fabulous. But if you have a belt that loops, you can make the loop big enough that as you go round and round in your circumductions, you can just keep your hands inside the loop to maintain tension. So I'm going to try for that. So I've got the loop, I'm inside the loop. Again, you don't need to do that. You can simply hold your towel or your belt end to end. It works perfectly well either way. So here, keep the tension, press out, rise up, keep pressing out, go to a point of max tension. If at this stage your elbows are bending, and you can feel that with your internal sensitivity, right? You notice your own body, then please take your hands wider. And we're not looking to go behind the back just yet. We're just going to a point of max tension, pushing or pulling out against your towel or your belt, lifting your chest. Take a moment to breathe. Come back down. Let's go to that same spot again. So up, same spot, pause, and back down. Good, please do a few on your own. If you are able to go all the way around, we're not doing that yet. We'll do that in a moment. So I'd like you to continue going to just the point of maximum tension where you really feel big chest stretch, and you're just pausing for a split second now and returning. Last couple here. how those toes doing. It's also quite a lot for your feet. Again, if you've been with me for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of toe sit. It makes it into many, many, many of these routines. So valuable for your foot health. Yeah. Okay, speaking of, let's put the belt down. We're not done with that, but put it down for a moment. Flip your feet, point your feet, and sit back in Vajrasana. So just a kneeling seat with pointed feet. That's a mouthful. Just a moment, breathe. Let's take the fingers into interlace. And then flip your palms out front of you at chest level. Push away. And as you push away, push not just from your hands, but check it out, push from your upper back. So you dome your upper back like cat without dropping your chin. And then with the shoulder blades still really wide apart, rise up. Lift your arms up overhead. Take a moment here to breathe into length along the side seams of your body. If it would feel good on your neck, on your throat, on your upper chest, you can look up. If it doesn't feel good, as with all things, then please do not do it. It's not necessary, it's just optional. Good, and then release. So this time, instead of coming to your toe sit, I'm going to encourage you to sit in Virasana, and you might use your block for that. So the feet stay pointed, but we have the position now of hips being in between the heels, either elevated or not. And then go for your belt. And this time, give yourself enough slack that you can go all the way around. So if you're using a loop, you can open up the loop. If you're just holding on, you can take your hands a little wider. But let's see now if we can't maybe explore going a little bit further all the way behind the body. So it's up and around, and then back the way you came. Any pace, just continue with that. If it's too much, again, there's a few things you can think about. One is taking your hands wider. Something else is that it may not be appropriate for your shoulder joint to go all the way. So continue with what we did in our first round, which is going part way. So you go to the point of max tension and then you return. If you're doing the full circle, the circumduction, then you're actually going past the point of max tension. Good, just a few more. Again, any pace is appropriate, whatever speaks to you today. It does not in any way have to match my pace. So you'll take 3 more, either full circle or half circle, whatever you're working with. And once you've done your 3, we'll take a short rest. Just putting the belt down. And breathe a few breaths. One more time. Let's come to the toe sit. So removing the block if you're using one, curl your toes under so that you can catch the skin on the bottoms of your toes. And then take your belt. So this will be our last exploration here. Going to the same point of max tension that we started with. And pausing. So stay right there at max tension and breathe. And then we're going to do just a little directional change. So take a very small twist to one side. So maybe to your right. Let's say that. Let's go to the right. Good. And then come back through center, and then little rotation to your left. Really widening that back arm, left arm behind you. Come back to center. Again, little twist towards your right, and then tiny tip of your right arm up and your left arm down. Teeny little tiny, but feeling a big change there at the front of the right armpit. And then nice and easy reset. So this is not big, it doesn't need to be big. It's just a little, again, directional change. Twist left, little side bend. So big, huge opening, top side chest. Reset one more time. Little twist right, little dip, little side bend. Go to a point where it feels interesting to you. Back up. Little twist left, little side bend, left arm rises. Again, go to a point where something constructive, not destructive, something constructive is happening inside your tissues. Nice and easy reset. Bring it back around. Don't put it down. Pause, breathe. Flip your feet, point your toes. Grand finale here. Take the belt up and around to your point of max tension or full circle. And we'll do 2 more. Just noticing if there is any additional freedom in there after all that we've done. Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes, there is. Good, you've got 1 more. Sweet, that is for all the push-ups. Okay, let's take the belt off to the side. Come down onto your back, hug your knees to your chest. And then take your legs and extend them up. So it's quite a while there with the knees bent. Give yourself a moment just to extend your legs. You can hold on behind your thighs if you prefer. And then have enough space between your legs and feet that you can circle your ankles. And start nice and easy if they are feeling stiff after those previous poses. But get the circles going to regain the circulation. Reverse, circle, opposite. And then just shake out your feet. Shake out your ankles. You can shake them together, you can shake them apart. Really nice, loosey-goosey feet, ankles, legs. Shake, 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 shake. And then once more, hug your knees into your chest. Let's do a figure 4 stretch. So left foot to the ground, right leg crosses over, and then draw your legs towards you. Most of the hip work that we did today was forward and backward in its orientation, which is flexion and extension. This one targets rotation. So we haven't done too much rotation here. A little bit with the abduction in that step out lunge. But mainly we have not worked in this direction today, so just being patient here, giving it a few moments. And stay with your breath. Release both legs straight up in the air. And just a few ankle circles. Circle the opposite way. And then let's take figure 4, side 2. So right foot on the ground to set up the left leg, and then drawing both legs towards you. This is another staple daily release pose. Again, I say that not doing that consistently enough my own self, but just put that in the back pocket of your brain, that this one is so good to do on a very regular basis, if not every day, because every day would be ideal, but of course we don't live in an ideal world. We do our best. But at minimum, I try to hit this one up 4 times a week. Such a nice relief from all the lower body activities that I engage with and indulge in. Probably similar for you too. Again, let's let that release. Take both legs up. Couple little ankle circles. Circling the other way. And then let's do a simple spinal twist. So with bent knees, shift your hips 1 or 2 inches in the opposite direction. Take your knees the other way. And then reach opposite arm out to the side. So I moved my hips a little to the right, rolled my knees to the left, and took my right arm out to the right. This is just a brief recognition of neutrality. So let's come back up to center, shift hips other way, roll knees other way, and open other arm. So we're on the opposite side. And by holding just a few moments, a few breaths each direction, we help reset ourselves internally, preparing for a few moments of silent rest. Good, guide yourself back. Take a moment to prepare to rest in any way that you prefer. I often do little knees to chest or maybe a happy baby's pose. Depends a bit on the day. But once you've prepared yourself in whatever way you prefer, you slide those legs out straight. You can have either arms out by your side as well, palms face up, or if it's more comfortable on your shoulders, rest your hands on your belly. Close your eyes. Take this time to simply linger in the after effects of the work you've done today, all that movement, all that mobility, all the motion through your joints and circulation through your tissues. Noticing how it feels in this moment to be alive, to be awake inside this body. additional time and intention to do so, please stay and continue to linger in your stillness. But if it's not within the scope of this practice for you, or if it's not reasonable within the time frame of your day, then I will leave you here. You can come into a comfortable seat. And I thank you so much for participating. I hope this did really good service to your shoulders and your hips, and that your whole body feels a bit replenished, so that you can go forth and have a fabulous day and engage with all the variety of activities that you enjoy and that bring exuberance to your physical existence. These sorts of practices where we actively recover and we pursue the process of putting ourselves back together with some real heart and some real mindfulness are so instrumental in keeping us as active as we care to be. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing, I hope you're now able to enjoy it a little more thoroughly. Thank you so much. See you next time.